Well, welcome back, fellow YouTubers, toy train buffs, to another running session out here in the cave. Today, we are celebrating 900 subscribers. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. Appreciate you. Hope you enjoy the channel. I try to get as much content as I can on here. Now, that being said, I do not post in a regular schedule, okay? For me, that would be counterproductive. If I try to keep a regular schedule, I'm going to burn out. So I post when I can. I generally get at least one post in a month, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so how, in fact, are we celebrating 900 subscribers? Well, last year, let me back up. A couple years ago, when I decided to turn this train board, into the Milwaukee Northwestern with a big city theme in a small space, something I've been, what I call a slow leak in progress, working on for the last couple years. When I decided to go Milwaukee Road, I was buying a lot of Milwaukee Road engines and rolling stock, and which can be expected. But then after a while, it got to the point where I finally took notice that there were more railroads running through Wisconsin than the Milwaukee Road. Some of those surprised me. I mean, I knew about the Green Bay and Western and Sioux Line and Canadian Pacific and Chicago Northwestern. I knew about all those. But every now and then something came up that kind of surprised me. One of them is a video I posted a couple years back on Lionel's Kickapoo Valley and Northern Railroad. They had a set, a starter set, and they labeled it the Kickapoo Valley Railroad. Okay, I'm forgetting the entire name, but that's okay. You get the point. And it came as a surprise to me that that was a real railroad in Wisconsin. Now, neither the engine or the rolling stock that Lionel included in that set resembled anything on the real railroad. But it was interesting that they did that. The Kickapoo Valley and Northern Railroad eventually was absorbed into the Milwaukee Railroad. Okay. All right. That being said, one of the things that surprised me about railroads that ran in Wisconsin was the Burlington Zephyr. Now, I'm not a trained historian, but I know about the Burlington Zephyr. The Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, otherwise known as the Burlington Route or Route, however you like to pronounce it, is credited with coming out with the first streamlined passenger train. And it was the Zephyr, and it was an articulated set where all the passenger cars shared a truck between them. All right. For example, like this car here, there's a truck in front and a truck in back. Well, articulated sets would have like that truck like in the middle here, and the two cars would share that truck. Well, as the articulated consist started wearing out, they were replaced with cab units, E units, or perhaps even F units. But here's where the surprise came in. I knew about the Burlington Zephyr. I know that. I didn't realize that it ran through Wisconsin. Now, the Zephyrs were like the Milwaukee Road Hiawatha. There were, there must have been a dozen Zephyr named trains that the Burlington ran. You had the Denver Zephyr, the Nebraska Zephyr, the Texas Zephyr. You had all these Zephyr trains running throughout the Midwest and West. One of them is the one I decided to depict here today. What do we got? Well, what we have here was cataloged by Lionel in 1980. It was cataloged as the Texas Zephyr, and the picture in that catalog only showed an AA unit and 5 cars. But the set itself wasn't sold as a set, but rather as individual pieces. Lionel just decided to depict it in their catalog as a set, even though each piece was offered individually. Okay. Now, that being said, when I found out that the Burlington ran one of their Zephyr named trains in Wisconsin, oh, that was cool. Now, which one was it? It was the Twin Cities Zephyr. It ran from, in the northern part of Illinois, ran from Chicago to Aurora. Then it went north from Aurora to La Crosse, following the eastern bank of the Mississippi River through Wisconsin. When it got to La Crosse, it went to St. Croix Junction in Minnesota, and then from St. Croix to the Twin Cities. So the Burlington actually had a Zephyr named train running through Wisconsin, and I thought that was cool. Now, I haven't yet found any proof or anything that Burlington ran freight trains in Wisconsin. Google isn't what it used to was back in the day. It's almost impossible to get anything useful out of that POS, okay? And I can't afford to be buying books left and right at $60, $70, $80 a crack. So if any of you guys out there know whether or not Burlington ran freight trains in Wisconsin, let me know. And hey, if it is in a book, well, let me know that too. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so for my new subscribers, I thank you. And let's get this sucker on the roll. Oh, couple things. This is an MPC era train. It's a beautiful train. As you can see, it's all shiny. The cars are aluminum, not plastic. All right. There is an ABA unit and 6 cars. Now, as far as I know, there is no combine or no dining car. Just baggage, couple coaches, couple Superdome or domes, and the observation. It's being pulled by a twin-motored F3, not Magne-traction. It has traction tires on it, and yeah, well, there you have it. It's MPC era, but it's a beautiful train, and I'm really happy to have this, and it is yet another tip of the hat to all those railroads that ran in Wisconsin. So here we go. This is my version of the Twin Cities Zephyr. Oh, there's no horn and no bell. 3-position unit, forward, neutral, reverse. So for sounds, I'm going to rely on my MRC sound system. And let's get this work train going. I'm trying to control trains and photograph at the same time. Okay, let's bring them on home. Alrighty. Now, that is our 900 subscriber special. I chose to call this train the Twin Cities Zephyr, even though Lionel cataloged it as the Texas Zephyr. And there's a good reason. When you see pictures of these Zephyrs online, they're oftentimes taken, from this kind of vantage point, overhead, right? And once you start looking at these photos, basically from the 50s, they all look the same. You can't tell if you just posted a picture and said, this is a Burlington Zephyr. You wouldn't know whether it was the Denver Zephyr or the Texas Zephyr or the Twin Cities Zephyr or the Nebraska Zephyr or what have you, because the concepts were so similar. So, in my little fantasy world, this is the Twin Cities Zephyr, which ran through Wisconsin. Alrighty then. And until next time, folks, happy railroading. Thank you to all my new subscribers. And until then, see y'all.